I would imagine that as they've been sued and as the federal government has gotten involved, that the number of people take or the percentage of people taking the LSAT with some sort of accommodations has probably increased over time. I'm imagining that there's probably not a lot of data out there on this, but I'm wondering if you have a sense of what percentage of people might be getting accommodations for this sort of test, or maybe is that something that you would not even have a clue about that sort of thing?
Yeah, I definitely don't know the answer to that question. And I think the reason I don't know is because, to my knowledge, that's not a publicly available piece of information. I know that the SAT will say, for example, the percentage of students that get accommodations out of the general population, but they themselves won't even say what percentage of people get approved to ask for accommodations. So I think a lot of these testing um, services, they probably like to keep people a little bit in the dark about that, and they're careful about what stats they release.
Is there anything that you might be able to share on your end in terms of what percentage of people who walk through your door you think are worthy of accommodations?
Sure. Well, I mean, I think by the time they come to me, usually the way they come to me is they either have a pre-existing issue that they're already aware of, that they're getting treated for, or a lot of times they might come from a tutoring service. So, for example, a tutor might come to them and say, it looks like you're having trouble here. You're really working much more slowly than expected. You should be improving, and it doesn't seem like you are. So some of those people could get referred to a person like me, and in that case, I already have some idea that there might be a problem going on. And then what I do is I conduct a phone screening where I ask a person a bunch of different questions about what their concern is, what kinds of issues they're having, and I'll ask questions about their life history. So by the time they get to me, I already have some idea of what's going on. And, and then by the time they come in, we go into the issue in an in-depth way. And I could say the vast majority of people that I see are people who really do require intervention and do require help. And many of those people get approved from LSAC for those kinds of interventions. What I will say is there are some occasions where a person might come in and I see that their test scores are not really adding up to something that would lead to an accommodation or would substantiate that. And in those situations, I just tell the person as soon as that becomes apparent that it's not likely to be approved based on what I'm seeing. And then after that, it's their decision about whether they want to continue or not. But, I try to be really transparent and open about the process so that people know that, there's no guarantee of anything. I'm not able to tell them before they walk through the door what their chances are of getting approved. I can only do that after I see the test scores, but I don't want to put anyone in a position of doing all of the testing and having me write a full report only for me to say, your scores don't add up to anything. So, as soon as I figure that out, I let them know. And so there's no surprises.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.